warned this video will contain spoilers. In Tulsa King Season 2, Episode 3, the storyline ramps up dramatically with a massive twist that shakes the power dynamics between Dwight Manfredi and Bill Bevilaqua. The tension is on the rise, and it feels like everyone is walking on a knife's edge. From the creeping threat of Thresher to Dwight's complicated legal situation, it's clear that this episode is setting the stage for something big. But what makes this particular episode so fascinating is how everything that Dwight has been battling, from his enemies to his courtroom drama, comes to a head, leaving us anticipating how things will unravel further. Let's start with Dwight's legal victory, which was a critical moment for his position in Oklahoma. The charges of attempted bribery, stemming from his actions in Season 1 where he gave Stacy Beal $1 million, were dismissed. This wasn't a simple legal win, though Dwight's strategy in the courtroom was meticulously planned. The U.S. attorney tried to nail him for bribery, but Dwight's defense was rock solid. Why? Because, technically, he never offered Stacy anything in return for her official action. According to Cornell law, bribery requires an exchange. There has to be something offered in return for official action. Dwight was smart enough to highlight that his gift to Stacy wasn't an attempt to manipulate her professionally. It was a brilliant move on his part, pointing out that the money was given out of personal connection, not with any strings attached. Stacy herself backed this up during her testimony, admitting that they had transitioned from lovers to close friends, and the cash exchange was more a gesture of goodwill than anything else. That honesty from Stacy gave Dwight the final push to win his case. It's the sharp maneuvering that helped him dodge a major bullet, and it sends a clear message. Dwight's no amateur when it comes to dealing with the law, but while Dwight may have dodged one bullet, others are still flying his way. Take Armand, for instance. The episode teases us with the possibility that Armand might have accepted Cal Thresher's money, which could lead to major complications down the line. Thresher slipped Armand $30,000 in cash, clearly implying he expects a favor in return. The show cleverly leaves us hanging, but later Armand gives Dwight $10,000 to settle a debt. Given Armand's financial troubles, it's pretty safe to say he took Thresher's money. Now, this is where things get really dicey. If Armand owes Thresher, it means Dwight could be vulnerable. Thresher isn't one to sit back after his attempt to frame Dwight for bribery failed. He might just use Armand to pull the strings and sabotage Dwight from the inside. And if Armand falls into that trap, Dwight's empire could crumble, and quickly. There's a real sense that Armand's financial desperation might make him an easy pawn for Thresher, and we're left wondering just how far Armand might go to keep himself afloat. Then we get to the explosive part of the episode, Bill Bevilaqua's failed assassination attempt on Dwight. Bill's been stewing ever since Dwight cut him out of the operation, and Episode 3 shows him pulling the trigger almost. Bill's plan was to send Carl to the bread tubuck to eliminate Dwight under the guise of a business meeting. What's interesting here is how Chickie's manipulation of Goody comes into play. Chickie had been trying to flip Goody, offering him Tulsa in exchange for Dwight's head. But it's not clear until the very last moment whose side Goody is really on. The fact that Bigfoot was waiting to ambush Carl suggests Goody tipped Dwight off about the hit, staying loyal despite Chickie's tempting offer. But here's where it gets even more layered. The way the whole attack goes down suggests that Bigfoot and Goody had orchestrated the takedown carefully. Carl doesn't end up dead immediately. It seems like the plan was to catch him, restrain him, and then let Goody finish the job. It's a subtle yet powerful message about loyalty and trust within Dwight's gang. The body disposal scene was equally significant. Carl's body gets dumped back at Bill's Kansas City estate with a clear message, a bread tubuck menu clutched in his hand, symbolizing that Dwight knows who's gunning for him and isn't backing down. This is the moment where Bill realizes he's in way over his head. Dwight isn't just playing defense anymore. He's ready to go to war, and Bill is clearly on the losing side. What's really fascinating is how this failed hit sets up the rest of the season. Bill tried to outsmart Dwight, but in doing so, he's only strengthened Dwight's resolve. The hit was more than just an isolated incident. It's the spark that's going to ignite a full-scale battle between these two factions, with Dwight now fully aware of the threat on his doorstep. So, what did you think of Dwight's court victory? And how do you think Armand's deal with Thresher will play out? Let me know in the comments below. I'm curious to hear your theory.